Part 4. From Superstition to Science. A notable pattern worth mentioning is how the evolution of mankind's understanding of itself and its habitat also continues to expand away from older ideas and perspectives which are no longer supported due to the constant discovery of new information. Superstition, which in many circumstances can be viewed as a category of belief that once appeared to be adequately supported by perceived experience, but can no longer be held as viable due to new conflicting information. For example, while traditional religious thought might seem increasingly implausible to more people today than ever, at least in the West, this is due to the rapid growth of information and general literacy. The roots of religious thought can be traced to periods where humans could justify the validity and accuracy of such beliefs, given the limited understanding they had of their environment in those early times. This pattern is apparent in all areas of understanding, including modern academia. Even so-called scientific conclusions are often defended due to their mere inclusion in current cultural tradition, even when new information and updated tests arise that can prove these former scientific conclusions are no longer valid. Such established institutions often wish to maintain permanence due to reasons of ego, power, market income, or general psychological comfort. This problem is in many ways at the core of our social paralysis. So it is important to recognize this pattern of tradition and realize how critical it really is to be open to changing your beliefs, not to mention coming to terms with the very dangerous phenomenon of these established institutions which are currently programmed to seek self-preservation rather than evolve and change. Part 5. From Tradition to Emergence. The perceptual clash between our cultural traditions and our ever-growing database of emergent knowledge is at the core of what defines the zeitgeist, which means the cultural climate of a time. A long-term review of history shows a slow move out of the superstitious cultural traditions and assumptions of reality as they heed to our newly realized benchmark of emergent scientific causality. While we certainly have witnessed vast and accelerating changes in different areas of human awareness and practice, such as with our vast material technology, it appears our social system is still long behind. Political persuasion, market economics, labor for income, perpetual inequality, nation-states, legal assumptions, and many other staples of our current social order continue to be largely accepted as normal by the current culture, with little more than their persistence through time as evidence of their value and empirical permanence. It is in this context that the Zeitgeist movement finds its most broad imperative, changing the social system. Again, there are many problem-solving technical possibilities for personal and social progress today that continue to go unnoticed or misunderstood. The ending of war, the resolution of poverty, the creation of a material abundance to meet human needs to a degree that has never been seen in history, the removal of most crime as we know it, the empowerment of true personal freedom through the removal of pointless, monotonous labor, and the reduction of many environmental threats, including diseases, are just a few of the calculated possibilities we have when we take our technical reality into account. However, again, these possibilities are not only largely unrecognized, they are also literally restricted by the current social order, for the implementation of such problem-solving efficiency and prosperity stands in direct opposition to the very mechanics of how our social system is operating at its core. Therefore, until the traditional social system and its resulting social values are challenged and updated to present-day understandings, until the majority of the human population understands the basic underlying train of thought technically needed to support human sustainability and good public health as derived from the rigor of objective scientific investigation and validation, until much of the baggage of our prior false assumptions, superstition, divisive loyalties, and other socially unsustainable, conflict-generating, cultural hindrances are overcome, all the life-improving, problem-resolving possibilities we now have at hand will remain largely dormant. The real revolution is the revolution of values. Human society appears to be centuries behind in the way it operates and hence what it values. If we wish to progress and solve the mounting problems at hand, in effect reversing what is an accelerating decline of our civilization in many ways, we need to change the way we think about ourselves and the world we inhabit. The Zeitgeist movement's central task is to work to bring this value shift to light, unifying the human family with the basic perspective that we all share this small planet and we are all bound by the same natural laws. This common ground understanding extends much farther than many have understood in the past. The symbiosis of the human species and the synergistic relationship we have to our place in the physical universe confirms that we are not separate entities and that the new social awakening must show a working social model that is arrived at from this inherent logic if we expect to survive and prosper in the long run. We can align with this logic or we can suffer. It is up to us.